Hello, this is Justin with Just Another Adventure. We all like to see what kind of equipment we carry in our pockets, so I thought I'd make a video about what I like to carry in mine. You should always have something in your pockets, whether you're in the woods or an urban environment. The fundamentals are the same: security, shelter, warmth, food, and water. But it's up to you to decide what it is that you like to carry. This is a crossover equipment, if you will. It can show up in your pocket, your backpack, your car. Uh, Most of these items should and will show up frequently throughout your camping, hiking, backpacking, exploring equipment. So let's get right into it. This is an old disposable camera pouch that they used to sell at Walmart for like $3 or $4 years ago. At some point, these were discontinued, I guess, or they just don't sell them in stores. I've tried to find these exact ones on the internet, and they're kind of hard to find. This was made by a company called Taurus, not to be affiliated with the gun manufacturer. But I bought a bunch of these years ago, and I'm glad I did. I use them a lot. I use them to carry little kits in my pockets. So in that pouch, I like to carry some 30 feet of bank line and 30 feet of paracord. And I have a signal mirror I made. This is just a piece of foam core from a craft project. And my daughter had a doll or a toy or something she got, and it had this really shiny, almost glass-like background to it. It's not as clear as glass, but man, it's shiny and it goes for a long ways, and it's very bright, even at night, like if you bounce a flashlight beam off of it. So I like it. I've never had to use it for rescue, but I'm confident it'll work. And I have 4 feet of Gorilla Tape. I like duct tape, I like Gorilla Tape, I like T-Rex tape. Each one's a little bit heavier duty than the other. I like them all. And some Aqua tabs. I printed out the instructions, because sometimes that fine print's hard to read. I have a candle in a small Altoids tin. This is my second compass whistle thermometer magnifying glass. I had one before that was yellow, and I carried that and used that for probably about 15 years. The whatever the liquid is that's in the button compass got really cloudy to the point it was dark and you couldn't use the compass anymore. I kept the whistle part and the thermometer and the magnifying glass. I don't believe that is an actual Fresnel lens, so I don't know if this will start fires. I'm assuming it can. I've never tried it, but I use it to read fine print because I carry matches and a lighter and stuff anyway, so that's what I use that for. It works good. The whistle's loud. I put a little bank line lanyard around it, adjustable. You pull them pulls and the knots will slide and you can put it around your neck. I got some wet fire. I change out wet fire sometimes to tinder tab, sometimes fire paste in a large straw, but I pretty much always use wet fire in storm matches. They've never failed me. It's always worked great. So that's what I carry. That's what I like. I have a lighter in my pocket anyway, so. And this is a orange piece of plastic sheeting. It's approximately 20 inches by 20 inches for signaling during the day. Now I have a backpack I like to carry also when I go out in the woods or I just kind of travel anywhere. But I don't always want to carry a backpack, so I can put a few other things in my pockets. For night signaling, I have a glow stick on a 4 foot of paracord. Then I have a Don't Die in the Woods emergency blanket. I like emergency blankets better. You can wrap them around yourselves. Emergency sleeping bags, you could cut them up and make into a blanket, but I don't like the idea of trying to crawl into something. I like the idea of being wrapped around something, and in emergency, you can wrap yourself with that emergency blanket and light that candle on the inside and sit in a position that you won't have to worry about burning yourself, and you can stay nice and warm in an emergency situation. So that's my little utility pouch I like to carry in my pocket. Next, I have this folding Boker Magnum with a 3-inch blade. I like this knife a lot. A friend of mine had one, so I got one 5 or 6 years ago. It stays sharp, it cuts well. The finish is kind of rubbing off because I've used it, I don't know, tens and tens of thousands of times. And I like it a lot. It goes everywhere. I have a lot of different folding knives, so I change things up once in a while. This is the only knife I have that It's not a subdued color like black, brown, green, but I really like it, so that's why I'm carrying it at the moment. This is my AAA Energizer headlamp. This is the second headlamp I've ever used. The first headlamp I used was a Rayovac, and that lasted me for 7 or 8 years. One of the colored bulbs went out, so I replaced it with this one, but I kept the Rayovac just for emergencies and because the other colored lights still work. But this has 3 white light settings and 1 red setting, but this is not a strobe. I mean, headlamps are great too, especially at night. You keep your hands free. I also carry a small flashlight. I use the same type of batteries because there's no sense in hassle with trying to sort through different types of batteries to use. The same battery always works best. But it's been great, and I've taken it everywhere, just like the Rayovac I had. Sure, it's not as light as a black diamond or something like that, but until it breaks, I see no reason to replace it. Besides, I'm willing to bear the brunt of its minuscule weight in ounces. I'm sure it's not going to break me. But it's been a good headlamp, so I like it a lot. This is a small, simple first aid kit I like to keep in my pocket. I like to make my own, tailored to me and my personal needs. And whenever you're making things like that, you should consider your health and the things you need to carry. I have a few different sizes of first aid kits, small, medium, large, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing. This is the same pouch as the other pouches. I put a red Velcro on here to represent first aid. I have a lot of 3-inch band-aids. I often find that I'm cutting and scraping myself, but I usually don't notice until I bleed, which happens quite often. So I have a plastic syringe. If I cut myself real bad, I can use it to flush out debris. I have super glue, gel super glue specifically, so it won't run like liquid super glue in case I cut myself real bad. It burns like hell, but it does work real well. Inside there is cotton balls to keep the super glue from rattling around, so there's a few cotton balls also. I hate getting stuff in my eyes, so I have an eye washing cup. I always seem like I'm getting something in my eye. I'm pretty good at removing stuff from my eyes with my finger, but just in case that doesn't work. Also carry some Q-tips. You can also get those wet and have someone, or if you have a mirror, get debris out of your eye. And they say you're not supposed to really put things in your ears to clean your ears out, but I have some Q-tips for cleaning out my ears. I like to keep my ears clean. It works pretty good. And that's it. That's my simple little pocket first aid kit. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. And I always like to carry a multi-tool. This is a original Leatherman Wave. I've had this thing for about 21, 22 years. It's been everywhere. This multi-tool has actually accidentally been into 2 concerts, Thrice up in Milwaukee and 311 in Milwaukee. It was on my belt. I forgot about it. Security never checked me. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything nefarious with it. But yeah, so it's been into a couple concerts. Funny thing is, it was in a concert, Thrice concert, and there's a guy there in a ghillie suit. So that's kind of funny. But I love this tool. Inside, there's a really tiny Phillips and flathead bit like you would use to fix screws on your glasses. That fell out in my yard years ago. But other than that, this multi-tool has been great. I love it. I've got this Coast AAA flashlight. Like I said before, always keep batteries the same. It's a nice little flashlight. I like it a lot. The nylon case that originally came with this Leatherman got worn out. Got worn out towards the bottom. So I bought this Voodoo Tactical pistol mag pouch. It's a great pouch. Velcro does wear out after a while. So I took some Velcro straps and looped it through. So when it wears out, I can take the main part of the pouch and tuck it in. And this Coast flashlight Fits in a little elastic loop on the side, and the pouch, when it's closed, prevents the flashlight from going back and forth and falling out. So that's my little multi-tool pouch setup. Sometimes I'll put a fire steel on the bottom because there's another elastic loop, and that's worked really well. But I like it. It's been around for a long time, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. A few other things I like to carry in my pockets. I like to carry extra keys to my house, and a lighter with some Gorilla Tape around it, and a match safe. But I have medication inside. There are some Imodium, some ibuprofen, some acetaminophen, some antacids, some Zyrtec, some Gas-X. I have some digestive issues, as we all have some health problems. So if you carry something like that, obviously tailor it to your own needs, but that's what I carry. A couple halves of a roll of Mentos. I break them in half, take a couple, eat them or share them, and then I take some tape. I wrap tape around the wrapper so it stays together. And I bend the broken ends over. They seem to stay in pretty good. And it freshens your breath, and if you have a dry mouth, it'll help produce saliva. I have a couple things of Kleenexes. I have a couple Justin's peanut butters. I like that almond butter, it's pretty good. I store it in my pocket in case you get hungry. A couple Wild Strawberry Crystal Lights in case you get tired of just drinking water. I get bored with plain water. A few wet ones. I find that even though these are in foil wrapping, that they do dry out after a while. So I always carry some extras just because. Some powder. Help keep your sweaty parts dry. A metal pen wrapped in rubber for writing and or self-defense. A silent key holder with another set of house keys, important keys to a safe, things like that. Extra car key, even a bottle over in case somebody offers you a beer. A couple other things I like to carry in my pockets are Mentos. I break the roll in half and tape it so the wrapper stays together, and then fold the broken end. Seems to stay pretty well. Freshens your breath and helps produce saliva if you have dry mouth. I have a match safe. I have medications inside, some acetaminophen, some ibuprofen, some Imodium, some Zyrtec, some antacids, some Gas-X. I have some digestive problems. And if you carry something like this in your pocket, obviously tailor it to your own specific needs. We all have different problems. A lighter with some Gorilla Tape, obviously for starting fires. An extra set of house keys. Some Kleenex, self-explanatory. Some powder, help keep your sweaty parts dry. Some wet wipes to help keep yourself relatively clean. A silent key holder. I have some important keys inside here, some extra house keys, car keys, that sort of thing. It's always come in handy. You ever watch the movies, people always forgetting their keys? Well, this way, you always have them in your pocket. A rubber-coated metal pen, obviously for writing or for self-defense. A little fire tin. This is everything inside. I like that a lot. I wasn't into little Altoids tins for a long time. I thought they were just kind of, I don't know. I wasn't really into them. I made one. I've been using it for a while, and I like it a lot. I really do. I carry it everywhere I go. It comes in real handy. So that's what's inside there. A wallet with some cash and ID. I always carry cash. I don't have a debit card. I don't use a credit card. Credit card's smart if you use it properly, and besides, if something happens, it's a credit card's money, credit card company's money, and they don't want to be ripped off, so their money is none of your responsibility. So basically they'll handle any problem for you. So I like that. You can also carry a passport. Passports are pretty rugged and durable for world travel. I've always wondered if anyone has ever worn out their passport to the point of falling apart. Something I've always wondered. A couple food items, just because. A couple packets of almond butter. I like those. Those are pretty good. and a couple packets of Wild Strawberry Crystal Light in case you get tired of drinking water. Water's kind of boring. Obviously, we all need it, but if I can add a little flavor to it, that's even better. So that's it. Oh, and for your wallet, if you don't use a passport, or if you use a passport, you can always make a little information card. You can take a recipe card and write out your information, and then take some clear packaging tape and wrap it to kind of waterproof it. I call that poor man's laminating. Same with the Mentos. It won't waterproof the Mentos, but it'll keep the packaging a little more durable, especially rolling around in your pocket all the time. And I do carry the Kleenexes in a Ziploc bag. And then the wet wipes, I've noticed over time, even though they're in the foil packaging, they do dry out. But other than that, this is the rest of what I carry in my pocket. Things I like to have on me everywhere I go. So thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon.